afternoon. My name is Will Ottman, and today I will be doing a short presentation on ethanol as a biofuel. First, could somebody tell me what this is? Corn, right? What does corn have to do with fuel? Anybody? What is it made of? What does corn make into as a fuel? Like sugar cane? Ethanol, right? All right. So we're going to talk about ethanol biofuel. Okay, as I showed you, a jar of corn. Okay, sugar cane and other plant life pretty much work up into ethanol biofuel. First, we're going to discuss what is ethanol, and then secondly, we're going to discuss the negative impact of what using ethanol biofuel. Third, alternative to ethanol biofuel. Okay. First, what is ethanol? According to the Monthly Energy Review and the ASTM standard, ethanol is a renewable, domestically produced alcohol fuel made from plant material, such as corn, sugar cane, or grasses. So as some of you commented, alcohol, right? Alcohol fuel. Right? Sugar cane, corn, and other plant life that you can get ethanol biofuel from. Okay, E10 and E15, many people have seen that on gas pumps, right? E10, E15, most of you probably, some of you may know what it is and may not know what it is. Okay, it's blends of ethanol, gasoline. The number E indicates the percentage of ethanol by volume, so 10%, 15%, E85, 85%, right? Okay, speaking of E85, Hawaii uses E85 and a few other states do as well. It's a high grade of ethanol fuel inside their fuel, okay? E85, also called flex fuel, you see that on vehicles, that's what it's talking about. You can put an E85 in there. It's an ethanol gasoline blend containing 51% to 83% ethanol, depending on geography and season. Summer blends tend to have more ethanol, while winter blends have less, right? Colder, going to freeze some of your the water and stuff inside your fuel, so you got to use less of it. That's why Hawaii uses more of it. So if you go to Hawaii, get stationed there, you're talking E85 in your cars. So if you don't have a flex fuel or a bio-type car, it's going to basically have a little bit of impact possibly on your car. Okay, speaking of negative impacts with using ethanol, the negative impact when using ethanol biofuel, there's a few of them. Okay, first I want to talk about is corrosive. Okay, tends to deteriorate non-synthetic and natural rubber fuel system parts. Okay, so that's a negative impact. It's going to corrode those parts. The more ethanol you use, the more corrosion you're going to get inside your motor. So like me, I drive a Hemi truck. Probably don't want to use that too much ethanol in my truck. Okay, I don't have a flex or anything like that. So you got to be careful with that. Okay, another negative impact: land and labor viability. Large amounts of farmland and labor are required to grow crops. Okay, so we're feeding people with corn, sugar cane, we're using sugar cane, all these other things, but guess what? The more we take away from the farmers to produce gasoline, we're going to have less to eat, right? So there's that impact. So low energy content that gasoline is another impact. Gasoline contains about 114,000 BTUs per gasoline versus ethanol 76,000 BTUs per gallon. This equates into reduced fuel mileage depending upon the fuel mixture percentage. Okay, so it's another negative impact. Okay, so at this point, I pretty much have broken down what is ethanol and what are some of the negative impacts to the use of ethanol. Okay, so now I want to move on to alternatives to ethanol biofuel. So let's talk about some alternatives. Okay, according to the MI, which is the Methanol Institute. Methanol, also known as wood alcohol. Methanol is a convenient liquid fuel that is made up from a number of different feedstock resources, natural gas and coal. Everybody's familiar with natural gas and coal, right? As well as renewable sources like forest thinnings or agricultural waste, and even directly from CO2 captured from power plant and factory emissions. So we always talk about going green, right? So with methanol, we can capture some of that stuff that are byproducts of other things and still use them to produce energy, right? I mean, some of it can be a little bit more efficient, than ethanol per se, okay? So there is additional alternatives. One of the distinct advantages of employing methanol as a suitable source of fuel is that the diverse array of feedstocks from which a simple alcohol can be produced. Okay. Besides industrial production from natural gas and coal, methanol can be made from anything that is or ever was a plant. Timber waste, landfill gas, trash, pulp, mill, black liquor, agricultural waste, and even CO2 pollution, among a host of other viable sources. All can be converted into methanol as an effective way to store and distribute the energy from each source. Okay? So maybe not as impactful, just determines on the method. Okay? In order to produce 30 billion gallons of methanol fuel, we need to only tap into less than 5% of three abundant resources in the United States, which have proven technologies for conversion to methanol. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, 21.2 trillion cubic feet of dry natural gas was produced in the United States in 2008, which about 100 cubic feet of natural gas need to produce 1 gallon of methanol. The production of 10 billion gallons of methanol required 1 TCF of natural gas, or less than 5% of current domestic natural gas production. Again, according to the EIA, the U.S. produced 1.1 million short tons of coal in 2008. Okay? So you get more out of it than you do necessarily ethanol. In conclusion, like I said, I talked about what is ethanol, the negative impacts of ethanol, and alternatives to ethanol. Okay? In conclusion, an MIT study said that methanol is a liquid fuel that is most efficient and inexpensive, produced from natural gas. Everybody's familiar with natural gas, right? We're doing a lot of natural gas right now, so there's a lot of offshoot we can use, especially with methanol. It's a cost competitive, room temperature liquid transportation fuel, reducing oil dependency, right? It's a big thing right now. So when you think of that, just think of those little, how I put that into context for you. Ethanol versus methanol, which I believe methanol is way better than ethanol. We just got to figure out how to convert it in a cost-effective way, okay? That concludes my short presentation. Thank you for your time.